Hey YouTube, Will here from Electric, and today in this video you are going to get a review of all 4 of these scooters. So first we're going to start with the Vene electric scooter VENE. That is the highest price one, coming in at $800, typically $950, and it's on sale. So this does have air-filled tires, and it does have a front brake, and it also has a very unique unlocking system, this NFC card, which I'll go over in a little bit. Now, one of the things that I don't like about this scooter right off the brake is the front brake. When you pull it, since it's on that front tire, I noticed that it does make it a little squirrely because you only have a physical brake on the front. Now it does have a nice rubber grommet here protecting that charge port, which is really nice and very high quality, and everything seems very nice on this scooter. So pressing the power button, you can see then I can scan the NFC card here, and that unlocks the scooter. Really sharp there. So NFC locking and unlocking through this card. So really great to see that. You also have a bell over here on the left-hand side hand grip, and also unique to this scooter, what I haven't seen before is turn signals. So turn signals, left and right turn signals, actually flash the lights in the rear on the scooter. Really awesome to see that. Definitely, I love lights on a scooter, and I love lights on an e-bike. It definitely increases visibility for the rider from other vehicles and keeps you a lot safer. So definitely love that integrated lights. So from a standstill, the throttle will not work. That is a big safety feature that I like to see on scooters, definitely keeping you safe. And then you have that physical grip, physical brake again for the front, which I said was pretty touchy and did make the scooter feel a bit squirrely when you squeeze that pretty hard. Now the LED dashboard was phenomenal, and I really like that. And you also have controls there. There's 3 different speeds that you can knock them through there: eco, and then drive, and then sport, as well as the front headlight that turns on, also the rear tail lights. Now I really took this thing, torture tested it. You can see that scratch there. Took this off-road, crashed a couple times. That front suspension really is awesome for this scooter and makes it such a comfortable ride. I really like this oversized tires as well, and this front suspension really just does a great job in terms of handling when you're riding the scooter. It feels really comfortable. This kickstand is perfect, just what I want to see, and you have all the batteries there in the deck. So that is the Vene scooter. As we jump into these other ones, you're going to see just how expensive this Vene is. Now the next scooter we have is called the Beetle, and that is actually a scooter with a seat. So a little bit different style than the scooters I reviewed before. You still can ride on this one, but it has a seat where you sit down on, so a little bit different. I would see this more as a mobility scooter for those that perhaps need assistance, but don't want to see this shoddy wiring like I see underneath the scooter there. I did take a second look at everything that came with the box, and it just has this adapter here, and that's for when you have the battery removed, so you can plug into the adapter. So what I ended up doing to fix that exposed wire was I took several layers of electrical tape and wrapped it around that wire. It's not the best, but it's a decent fix, and now at least those wires are protected a little bit more by several layers of electrical tape. Overall build quality is pretty good. I would say it's definitely not the worst I've seen, but those exposed wires there at the bottom definitely need to be fixed. I don't like to see that. It looks like those wires are going from the charge port to the battery. Now this plastic here makes the scooter look nice, but it is pretty flimsy, so just keep that in mind. Now the charge port you can see right in front of me has a nice rubber grommet to keep any sort of water out, which is great to see. Now something unique to this scooter that I've never seen before is this key. It actually has NFC and some buttons where you can lock and unlock the scooter just from these little buttons, and you get a nice audible sound there. So the NFC key works on the display similar to the Vene scooter, but instead through this key, because this key locks this compartment, which maybe there's storage. No. So unfortunately, there's no storage underneath here, but you do have a rather large removable battery, which is great to see. So if you do need to park this outside or you have any sort of stairs, you can park this thing, remove the battery for charging. So really nice accessibility item there. This battery is rather long and skinny, but it does offer 25 miles of range per the manufacturer at speeds up to 15 miles an hour. This is only a 350 watt motor. Now the Vene scooter had a 500 watt motor, but keep in mind with this battery, I did pinch my finger there. It's got to be seated all the way down in there if you're going to remove it, or else this cover here will not sit properly on there. So I think overall, this is a great design for a scooter where somebody, like I said, has a mobility issue and might need this scooter to help get them around, or, you know, if they want to ride around the park, if they're unable to walk around the park, they can hop on this scooter with a very comfortable seat and very comfortable riding position as well. While there's no adjustments for the seat to go up and down, you do have some tilting adjustments on the seat, and also this folding mechanism here if you want to get this into a car. Now this scooter is a little bit heavier, but it is nice to see that the seat and the handlebars can fold down, really reducing the size of this thing. So not really my style of scooter, but if you are looking for a scooter with a seat, which is very different, this might be the one for you. And I'm going to have an Amazon affiliate link again in the description below. Now let's jump up to the display. You can see the handlebar here has some extra reflectors on it, and then a really solid handlebar and grip setup here. It feels really nice and pretty premium as well. So on the left hand side we do have a bell and the front brake, and on the right hand side we have the rear brake and a half twist throttle, which is really nice. Everything feels great. Now one of my favorite things about this scooter is the key. So this is an NFC key, so you can just tap here on the display and it puts the scooter into park. So to put it in drive, all you have to do is press that function button and you can see that it is in drive. Again, with most scooters, just like this one, there's 3 different speeds. You do have access to the throttle at 0, and so just keep that in mind for safety reasons. So there is a eco, low, and high, and I would say the high for this smaller 350 watt motor does have some power to it. So this is a rear hub motor, this smaller 350 watt motor just in the rear, and in the front we just have a regular air-filled tire and then the kickstand on this side. Overall, again, build quality here is really nice, and I love the, you know, locking feature, and for this price tag, really $560 with that coupon. Switching gears over to the Eskute, I went on their website to check the price and it says $750, but when I pulled it up on Amazon, there's actually a $100 coupon off on Amazon. So now this one most compares to the Vene scooter. It has that front forks style suspension, but a 450, so 50 watt motor, smaller than the Vene scooter, but as I was riding it, I'm about 200 pounds. I didn't really notice. The thing I love about this one is the solid tires. So you will never get a flat tire with this scooter. It does fold in half, similar to the Vene scooter. You can see the buckle right there on the handlebars. You do have a dual braking system. It does get the same amount of speed and everything. The only thing that you are lacking is the 50 watt smaller rear hub motor. You do have the bell, the front brake, and really the setup seems very identical. I will say that the Vene scooter has higher quality hand grips. These hand grips on this one felt a little bit cheap to me. There's a glimpse of the headlight, which also gives you a tail light when that's on, and I love the integrated lights on all these scooters, really do. Now this deck felt very solid. You can see I took this one off-road as well, just testing out that front fork, and it never bottomed out on me on some off-road terrain. Pretty impressive stats here with the 600 watt-hour battery offering 40 miles of range for a smaller price tag at $650 with this active coupon right now on Amazon. Now the last scooter we have to test is the Microgo, and this one I would say is the smallest, cheapest feeling. It just feels like very made in China-esque. Now, this is the cheapest one, coming in at $473 on Amazon, but this is not an adult scooter. I would see this more as a kid scooter, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So I love the solid tires. There is no shock whatsoever on this thing. The front motor, so all these other scooters have a rear motor. This one has a front motor, and the actual folding mechanism is down here on the bottom of the deck, versus all the other scooters had it on the handlebar, which is a little bit easier to maneuver because both wheels stay on the ground. Again, these airless tires make it very convenient, so you never have to worry about getting a flat tire. So the display is fine. It's nothing fancy, and it definitely felt very cheap to me. Now, while you do have some safety features with the headlight and taillight, from zero, the throttle does work. So just keep that in mind. I'd said, this would be a good scooter for kids. That has to do with the size, but that's a big safety feature for me. And also increasing complexity in parts too. So rather than integrate the regenerative braking in the handle, in the hand grip, they have a separate throttle on the left-hand side for regen braking. So these hand grips, they screw on, and they just felt really cheap to me. So this deck and this scooter in general is pretty small. You can see there the rear tire. These tires are pretty tiny, and I'll do a comparison with the Vene scooter here. But I do like that, especially at night, they have these blue lights on both sides of the scooters, illuminating kind of the ground around the scooter, helping with that visibility. So now here's the Vene, and you can see that just the size of these tires are so much bigger than this Microgo electric scooter. Now, one of the things I did like, I hope you saw that, was the Vene scooter has a front brake, and this Microgo has a rear brake. So the Vene scooter did feel a bit squirrely when you really pull that front brake, where this Microgo felt solid because you're braking in the rear. So here is a direct comparison between the Vene scooter, and which has a very solid, large deck, and this Microgo, I feel like is either for a very small adult, or this is for a child. So for a kid who wants to ride a scooter around, this Microgo would be for them. It definitely felt really small when I was riding it, and definitely was not really for me. You can see the height difference there is about 6 inches. So this one, although yes, it is pretty cheap, you kind of get what you pay for here with this Microgo. But that might not be a bad thing if you're looking for a scooter for some kids. So if you want to buy your kid a scooter, this one might be good because it has those extra lights, which increases visibility. You don't have the hassle with the airless tires. But if you're looking for a scooter for yourself, which if I was going to buy one of these today, I would probably get this Eskute one because it has the airless tires, which I love. It has a full-size deck, the full-size handlebar as well, and it just feels really nice when you're riding it. So if I had to buy one of these scooters, I would definitely go with this Eskute. It was significantly cheaper than the Vene scooter. It had the airless tires. It was set up very similar, and it also had a almost as powerful, this one has a 450 watt motor versus the Vene scooter had a 500 watt. So really, I think pretty comparable, and especially since I'm not pushing the weight limit at all. If you want to pick up one of these, check the links down below in the description. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. Share this video with a friend, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As always, see you in the next one.